My mom homeschooled me and my three siblings. And people have all kinds of opinions about homeschooling, I know. Say what you will, though. I do feel like it's made me into a lifelong learner, because I'm pretty sure that's how long it's going to take me to catch up, you guys. And it didn't help that I grew up in Texas. I was reading an article recently about how in Norway, they've been using Texas as another word for crazy. And I was like, that's funny, because in Texas, we've been using the word Norway as another word for Finland, Iceland, Denmark, IKEA. We are real bad at geometry down there, you guys. It's bad. We need help. We need help. Something I realized about homeschooling. Really doesn't matter how well you do. You can graduate, you can graduate top of your class, like my brother did. And at best, you only know as much as your parents. So, and I love my parents to death. They're great people, but neither one of them went to college. So, I basically graduated with an early 1970s Texas high school education. That's what I'm rolling with up here. So I remember my first day of college, some guy started talking to me about global warming, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just found out about AIDS this morning, so this is a lot right now. Let's slow it down. A lot of my friends growing up wore purity rings. I don't know if that's a thing here. A purity ring, it's a ring that you would wear to let people know that you would not be having sex until you were married. Bunch of dorks, right? Because what they didn't realize that I did was that a nice pair of homemade corduroy pants sent the exact same message, you guys. Exact same message. Same results. Called them my purity pants. Every belt becomes a chastity belt when you're wearing your purity pants. That is some homespun homeschool wisdom right there, you guys. If there's one thing that homeschoolers are good at, though, it's making children, and I have 4. I know, you're like, wow, no, that guy has 4 kids, come on. He looks way too gay to have that many kids. Come on. No, but I do. I have 4 boys. My oldest 2 are teenagers, actually, which in my family means I will probably be a grandfather soon. Because that's how we roll, if you can't tell. No, but I did have to, I had the sex talk with them recently, and I learned a lot. Yeah. Good times. I talked to them about pornography because I'm a little bit old-fashioned about porn. I've decided I don't want my boys looking at a bunch of pornography, mainly because I don't want them developing unrealistic expectations about how big their junk's gonna get, you guys. I know their genetic limitations, okay? They will be disappointed, okay? So, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and sometimes that tree is more like a sturdy shrub leaning hard into the wind. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. But here's the thing, like it's virtually impossible to keep kids from seeing porn if they want to see it. So what I realized is I've got to make it so they don't want to see it. And here's my plan. Y'all can let me know what you think of it. If I ever walk in on one of my boys watching porn, I am going to sit down and watch it with them and explain all the ways that she reminds me of their mother. I think it's gonna work. My youngest boy is 8, and he's my favorite because he's the best one. Also, I mean, it's true. Also, he's my miracle baby. This is true. He was born almost 1 year after doctors told me that I would never be able to have children again because of my vasectomy. Oh yeah. Yeah, doctor was wrong. And also really bad at vasectomies. Do not think he should be allowed on Craigslist ever again. But my youngest, he's very athletic, and this past year I got to coach his basketball team because none of the other parents volunteered. And the day before the first practice, I got a message from the YMCA letting me know they were going to be placing a little boy with special needs on my team. And I was like, great, of course, but I was like a little worried for him because I just know how mean little kids can be, especially to someone who's different. But guys, I am happy to report he fit in great. He did so well that we got to the end of the season and I realized I still hadn't figured out which little boy it was. I don't know if you've ever seen 7-year-olds play basketball. They all look special to me. Half the time I thought it was my own kid. I was like, well played, YMCA. Well, let's see what you did there. There's this one thing though my son does that I don't like very much, and that's when I'm putting him to bed. He just will not go to sleep. He just keeps on talking because he knows if he keeps talking and asking me questions, then I won't leave and he gets to stay up. And so I've been trying to figure out how to put it into this. And the other night I felt like I had my chance because he goes, Dad, is God a mommy or a daddy? I was like, I got this. I studied the Bible a little bit. I know a little bit of science. I was like, here's what I think, son. What's up? You really want to know? So I think God is a daddy and a mommy. I think during Jesus' time, God was probably a daddy. That's because after he finished making his special little boy, he left him for some other man to raise. And daddies do that sometimes. Statistically. But I think before that, like back during Noah's time, I think God was a mommy. And that's because after she finished making all the little boys and girls in the world, she got really, really sad. And she drowned them all. And mommies do that sometimes.